Suspects or motive in the murder of rapper and actor Tupac Shakur, who died last Friday the 13th after being gunned down in a drive-by following the Mike Tyson-Bruce Seldon boxing match September 7th. Meanwhile, on Thursday night in Los Angeles, we spoke with Suge Knight, head of Tupac's label Death Row Records, and the man who was driving the car sitting right next to Tupac when he was shot. Knight, who himself was grazed in the head by a bullet, was prevented by his lawyers from addressing the shooting itself. But here, for the first time on television, he speaks publicly about its aftermath.
How are you feeling and how are you doing physically?
I feel like this. I feel that the last word is always God. But Pac saved my life. The reason why I say Pac saved my life, I got shot in the head, I got grazed some other places, but I still got the bullet in my head. It's still there. But for as trying to get him to the hospital, didn't make me realize that I was shot. Because usually when you get shot in the head, the first thing the person do is panic. You know, bam, I'm shot in the head, I'm about to die. You know. And once you do that, you can't drive nowhere. My whole thing was, Pac, he was shot. I'm like, you shot? I'm gonna get you to the hospital. I'm driving, telling him I'm gonna get to the hospital, kick back. Pac looked at me and said, you know what? You need the doctor more than me. You the one shot in your head. And we laughed the whole time going to find our way to the hospital. That's the conversation we had. It wasn't, Pac was a man the whole time. It wasn't that he was like, oh, I'm shot. He cracking jokes. He like, yeah, they shot me. He said, but you shot in your head. Look at your head bleed. Look how much it's bleed. That was Pac. And I'm like, man, shut up. I'm gonna get you to the doctor.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They love me. We was in the, we was going in, we was on a thing that was getting there. I like, Pac, we the last one left. When we talking, this is how we talking. He said, homie, I'm straight. I love you, homie. I'm gonna be straight. I love you too. Woo, woo. That's what it was.
There was a report earlier this week in the New York Post that Tupac was looking to leave Death Row Records. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
You should answer that. You don't take a person like Tupac who, if you listen to every song on All Eyes on Me, every song on Machiavelli, every time he do an interview, what's the first thing he say? Death Row. Tupac loved Death Row. Tupac loved me, I loved him. I mean, Tupac took Death Row to the next level. I mean, we worked hard and we laid the foundation down, and Snoop took the baton, he ran with it, and he did a great job with it. When Tupac got the baton, not only did he win the race, he finished so fast that he was able to sit back and drink some Thug Passion and come up with another plan. I mean, if you'd asked Tupac that question, that was he planning on leaving Death Row, he definitely would have cussed you out.
A lot of people in the hip-hop community have said that this incident will change hip-hop. This is a really landmark event, tragic event at that, and that the music will probably never be the same. Do you see the direction of Death Row changing? Is there going to be a different type of music put out?
Not at all. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing and sell records. Like I said before, my main goal is fulfill Tupac's dreams. And Tupac would definitely never want the music to change, or the style. So we're going to keep it the way he would like it. You know, I never went to try to match no other artists, and that was something he wanted. And that was something I was proud to do, you know, because it wasn't for the money, it wasn't for trying to be famous, but for me letting him know, I love what you're doing, I'm gonna give you my all to make sure you can continue to do what you're doing. The night at the club, Craig Mack performed, Run DMC performed. Not one West Coast rapper performed. So if it was so much of an East Coast, West Coast thing, they wouldn't be performing there.
How do you want Tupac to be memorialized? How do you want him to be remembered?
Tupac is a man, he's not a weak person. So he don't want to be people to show him his love by tears and passing out. He wants people to be strong and stand up for him. And Tupac's a legend. Like I said, Tupac wasn't born, he was sent to us. I mean, he got the greatest mother in the world, but he was actually sent to her, and she was good enough to let him come to us. And he gave himself to the world. And Tupac will live forever. It's not a day that go by that in music, when music come on, that people won't think of Tupac. It's not movies or nothing. I like to see, and we'll see Tupac be the legend that he is. We all learn from this. I mean, I often say that we learn how strong black women is. I mean, that's been in my head lately a lot.
Why do you say that?
Because the mothers of death row were stronger than all of us. When this happened, the mothers was calling Tupac's mother, praying with her, coming to see her, talk to her. I'm talking about all the mothers on death row with their sons or daughters on the label. And they showed more heart than any of us. You know, they was like standing up. We're gonna pray, he's gonna be okay. And when he wasn't okay, you know, Tupac's mother was the first one to say, when you have a memorial, I don't want nobody to wear black. I'm wearing white. Tupac has gone to a better place. He's free now. There's nothing nobody can do nothing to him. And I sat back and I thought, I was like, yeah. Can't nobody arrest him. Can't nobody try to put him down. Can't nobody fire shots at him. Can't nobody hurt him no more. He's in heaven in a better place. You wonder why that person, you know, is out your life. And, you know, when a person hurt, you say stuff like, God, if he'll be all right, you can have the money, you can have the cars, you can have whatever, the material things, you can have my business. You know, I'm willing to start all over and be homeless for him to be okay. I would, you know, give up anything. It got so deep to a point where you would give your life. And I would have gave my life. I mean, if I could have walked in and somebody said, you know what? You got one choice. You switch places. I would have did it.
You would have taken those bullets?
Yeah, of course I would have taken the bullets. When I heard the shots being fired, Pac stood up to try to get in the back seat to get out the way of the shots. That's how he got shot in his hip, which hit one of the bones, the doctor said, and traveled to hit his lung. When he stood up, I grabbed him and said, get down, and covered him. When I pulled him down, that's when I got shot in my head. And there's not one thought that, you know, would say, well, maybe I shouldn't have tried to do that or anything like that. I would have took every last one of them. And if I would have gave my life for him, without a question.